going to be interesting, I feel, what the summer is going to hold. Now, does that scare me or concern me? Nah, really. I'll go on. It could be snow outside. We're still going to do certain projects. So, but that's me. So, but we just want to have a grasp of what the weather is doing, because we do react to or adjust to what happens with the weather. We may not do something outside or change some errands that we do because maybe some storm weather coming through with rain. Same thing with the planting that we have this year. We always find out when the windy days are so we can cover those up or put them behind something, or do whatever we need to do to cover our plants. And what you need to do, too, in my opinion, is always remember vertical gives you extra space to grow things. Put it in pots, extra space to grow things. Be open to all the different things that can happen as far as being able to grow your plants in a community garden or at home, because you're going to hear in the next couple of years anyway the help that the USDA is wanting to make sure that people know how to grow things at home. I have a feeling it's going to be bleeding out to the schools also, that kids are going to have to learn how to go back to the basics and learn how to grow some of their food. Whether they use those skills down the road or not, who knows? But they do need to know those skills. The parents aren't teaching them for whatever reason. I don't have kids, so I don't know. To us, it's ingrained to us through several generations that we all grow something of some sort, have a garden. So I can't imagine somebody not teaching the kids how to grow something. So, but that's my world, and I'm around a lot of farmers and people that have been in the industry. So I can't imagine, but it's out there, isn't it? So do start a community garden wherever it is that you live, work, or play, because it's so needed. There's a lot of chemicals going around on the plants, and then we heard that there was like 63 chemicals alone, a layer that goes on top of apples that you buy, at a store. We don't ever eat the peelings after that point, and Mom didn't eat the peelings for years before that, but we had bought them years and years at a local orchard, and our limits are down because the current generations are not really putting as much effort into it as what the mom and dads did, but and it's labor intensive, it really is, but do watch what nutrients you're getting, what kind of chemicals that you're getting on your vegetables and fruits, and if you have to peel off the top part of it, hey, the days 3 or 4 decades ago when you could eat any of that kind of stuff are pretty well gone. So just be aware of where your food comes from, what it's been through, what's been around. But it's even better if you can grow them. So we grew apples and pear trees, and we didn't put that kind of stuff on our we just didn't. We made sure there was nutrients at the bottom of the roots, but we didn't put anything on the trees. Now, when they had something with some bugs or certain things, we had to get the 7 or something of that sort, and then take care of it, but not like what you see or hear, what people do with the plants today. It's just unbelievable. But, okay, now we're going to go ahead and go back to, we're going to talk about, real fast, this piece that the USDA has done about the Chinese trade war back and forth. Basically, in that nutshell, I'm just telling you, so educate you, the Chinese need to eat. They have so much hazardous waste ground, and we've discussed that, 2 years ago. It's still the same thing because now they're working on vertical farming. They're doing hydroponics, aquaponics, because if those people want to eat, they have to do something different. They can't grow that much on their ground. That's why they were allowing the U.S. farmers to be able to sell them rice. Because that hadn't gone on for, 30 or 50 years, and now all of a sudden they can sell them rice. So it is a major problem. It's too bad that you're not getting the information from the media, however, but it's what's really going on. So they need the food. So don't think that they're necessarily at the advantage part because they're so large. They have to feed their own folks. That's why they're reaching out to other nations to get food in, because someone's got to feed them. So there's a lot going on in the background or the behind the scenes that maybe people are not educated about or don't know about, but it's been going on for a while. So let's go ahead and see what the USDA wants us to know right now about all that stuff.
Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue pointed out that pecans are among the ag products that have benefited from trade.
And much of that growth has been driven by the demand in China. Once they became acquainted with pecans, then they wanted more of them. And frankly, that's the same situation with much of U.S. products.
He was speaking at a USDA budget hearing before the House Appropriations Agriculture Subcommittee.
We allow many of their products to come in virtually tariff-free, and yet they still restrict or tariff many of our products in there, both peanuts in your district, pecans, as well as cotton and other things.
He pointed to the need for tariff reciprocity, a call that was echoed by President Trump, who is hosting the visiting leader of Japan in Mar-a-Lago.
Free, fair, and reciprocal, and I think we've all agreed to that.
This is Stephanie Ho for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
And thanks, Stephanie. What you got to remember, I always say this to people, I like a two-way street. When I feel that the one-way street is too much into my time and energy, and I'm not the one making the money, or I'm not the one whatever, then I drop it myself. And I do that with particularly if I can help out a nonprofit group or we help out with other situations in life. You have to look at that way because people will use you, they'll abuse you, they'll abuse you if you let them. Then you have to stand up and say, nope, that's it, that's not my ballgame, enough. So that's what's got to happen on with trade. Bottom line, when you help out with the community garden, only do your part. There's always going to be slaggards. There's always going to be people that not do their job. Make sure you have enough volunteers that can feed into your system, like if it's a boys and girls group, if it's a church group, if it's a seniors group. Make sure that everybody's carrying the load because I've been in a lot of different community organizations, and if it's just one or two people doing the whole load, that can get kind of cumbersome in a while because it's your time, it's your life. You're taking away from your life to be instead with maybe your family or your relatives or whatever and helping out something else that people are going to beat you down to begin with. So you got to go ahead. I've always felt when I got older, I do a project knowing that in case I don't get a thank you from someone, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it because I can. I'm doing it because I'm there. It's because I've got the either the reach, the contacts, or the whatever, and I'm helping someone. If it's something that's burdensome or whatever, then I've got to drop it. Then if I don't get a thank you, at least I know that I made a difference. I did it my time, my way, my whatever, and go on. And because you get back what you throw out. So, karma, I've always believed in karma. And bottom line, you have to make sure that you're not carrying the burden of everything and no one's doing anything and they get all the credit or part of the credit. Bull to that. Bull. I've been there. So don't do that with your community garden. Make sure that everyone carries their part or do their thing. And make sure, again, I kid you not, make sure you have enough volunteers to help out so it seems like it's overabundance of volunteers. That's okay. That's a good thing. So reach out to all those businesses that are around you, those youth groups, the different colleges, whoever, and see if they have an hour here, hour there to help you out. It could be weeding. It could be picking up debris. It could be cleaning out the community garden to make it ready. It could be cleaning out the community garden to shut it down at the end of the year. Get out your calendar and go ahead and write down where you need the help and when, and contact those people a couple of weeks or a month ahead of time and say, hey, can you be on the calendar? And then remember who those contact people are to be able to go to them next year. Hi, how are you? You helped us out last year with whatever. And would you have a group that can help out again? And one community garden group here in our town, they've realized that this is an asset. Reaching out to other people and say, hey, we need help. If you want to see us be sustainable, you want to see us keep going, we have to have help. So that's what you do, and you'd be surprised how many people will come. They can't come if you don't ask. And make sure you have a great season. A lot of people are prepping now, and we're getting ready for our situation here in our area of the Midwest. They're clearing out the grounds and whatever. They can't do too much because our weather still goes up and down, but I'm hoping that this week is the last week that we have of the 30 degrees, whatever, in the evening. So, I think in New York, one of the forecasters there said that next week should be a much warmer week across America. So I'm hoping, because we're all waiting. We're just waiting with bated breath to be able to get stuff going and growing. So, but the thing that concerns me is that usually in April is when we see in the Midwest a lot of rain storms and tornado activity. We've not seen too much. I'm wondering where that is, how it's going to happen, because the hurricane season this year is going to be something else. So who knows, whatever, but we'll still keep going through it because that's the way we are. So, hey, and we've got great things coming. I told you about YouTube. We're going to be getting ability to sell the magazine on our websites and other social media sites. So I'm very excited. So keep with me. We've got lots of neat things coming up this year. It's all as soon as I can figure out the technology. That's the whole key. As soon as I can figure out the technology, we get it up running, see if it works for us or not, or take it down, and then we keep going for the next thing. So we've got a lot of things on the table to do, and I appreciate you still being with us. I sure do. It's really fun to do this stuff and see how many more community gardens we can start. So, well, got to go. But anyway, thank you very much, and good luck to all that you're doing with your site. Have a great Community Garden Day. You've been listening to Community Garden Revolution. My name is Mary Hugo. Have a great Community Garden Day.
Precision medicine holds great promise for treating genetic diseases, such as certain types of cancers. To drive progress, Harvard Business School Executive Education has developed a new program, Accelerating Innovation in Precision Medicine, which brings together leaders from business, science, medicine, and technology to explore new models for advancing personalized medicine. The program takes place on the Boston campus in September. Learn more by clicking the banner or visiting hbs.me/precision. That's hbs.me/precision.